what it was like before the schools went on vacation. I mean, they will be returning anytime soon. What about those who do not have vehicles, personal vehicles, but they make use of the public transportation system to take their wards to schools? How will they cope? For example, you must make use of, let's say, 2 to 3 stops before you get to your child's or children's school, and you return also. As we speak, price of transportation from one location to the other has clearly changed in Umuahia. I don't know about you. If you feel that you are not affected, have you traveled lately? Let's talk about between last week and today. You've not seen what's happening yet. Last week, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited increased the petrol pump price from what it was to about 800 and something naira. There are filling stations as we speak this morning that are selling premium motor spirit at the rate of 1,250 and 1,300 naira. The development had triggered outrage in various sectors at the moment in this country. What is happening? Black marketers also have taken advantage of this particular development. We'll look at calls for reversal of recent fuel price hike and intrigues around Dangote Refinery's PMS supply, issues and worries on Standpoint today. Incorruptible Sam, good morning and welcome to Standpoint.
Yeah, good morning to you, Moses Ben. A brand new week.
Thank you. With another problem.
A big one. And as the day progresses, the problems increases. That's the sad situation here in Nigeria. And well, it's so unfortunate that we even have leaders that ends up chasing shadows. They chase rats, whereas our house is on fire. Very, very serious, fire there. And at the end of the day, they will look for who to blame. That is the problem. Things are getting worse. And I thought by now that the president, looking at what he said and how he said it was his turn actually to, lead Nigeria and change things. Nothing has done. Nothing has been done. In fact, things are getting worse. And it's so sad. Subsidy is gone. That's what brought us to this level right now. And just that few second statement, look at where we are. That's why so many people have actually called upon him to say that same thing again. Subsidy is back. And he said, no, we are not going back. He went to China, promised them that, see, what he did is just for us to be like China. I love politicians when they talk.
And no dream big for their country.
Definitely. Don't worry. I asked them there, why, are you not enjoying what you are seeing? Good roads, lines and other. Yes, they are. But what sign are we seeing? Have we seen any since the removal of subsidy happened? Have we seen any sign at all? The answer is no. Had it been we have seen one refinery working now, would have said, okay, there is progress. No. The Dangote refinery, whether they are selling to him with Naira and him. Also, now, if you also want to look at that, from the clip I saw early this morning on Facebook, someone was actually analyzing that. If you look at it, it means us continuing to import fuel will even be better compared to Dangote refinery, because he said he's going to sell around 130, 1,030 something. If I got that right, that means Dangote refinery coming on board is also not going to help us.
And Dangote also is saying that look at the NNPCL, of course, being the body that would be responsible to move this product from its refinery for distribution, could also stand in the gap of deciding, determining what happens to the price of premium motor spirit, which is still giving them difficult to decide on what to be allowed.
If we also allow them to decide, that means nothing will change, because the ones they have actually been deciding, they have not decided anything. Just as you talked about parents, it's going to be more difficult. A caller that should be on Saturday called in to say that, he has actually sat down to do the calculation. And it's not going to be easy on him as a parent. How much more that parent? Even if you have a private car, Moses Ben, you also fear the car. You will fear the car. If you're not a politician that store fear, diesel in your house, you're going to feel the heat. Someone actually came out the other day, made it a content where he just came on the road and was actually, on camera I saw more tricycle than private cars. He was also analyzing it. Say, see, because fuel is costly. People have actually calculated, if I will buy 2 liters of fuel, around 2,000 something, for me to get to gate and come back with my private car, why not I pay 300 going, 300 coming? That's 600. You drop the car and board a tricycle. So it is, if you check it, is affecting everybody. Then on senators talking that, well, what do you expect them to do? To come also and feel as if, Ben Carl has also said it, I think one of them, that even the money they earn as representatives is not even enough. And all the rest. So what do you expect politicians to say? If the thing is affecting them, can they, all of them now, not leaving anybody, can all of them go back to their homes, then let Nigerians lead themselves? It's getting to that point, and I don't know if another protest is looming.
If you have been suggesting that it happened to that, or it happens that way,
if they are suffering, let them leave the place.
We are practicing indirect representation. At the moment, you don't expect everybody to be within that corridor of lawmaking.
They should
and
come back.
decision making.
Let us decide the people that will go. Among the youths will select one person that will go there, represent them in all the constituencies. Let us see if at all what they are saying is the truth.
But have you thought of this from the other angle, Incorruptible Sam?
Django.
In the face of all these issues around fuel price hike and all of that, our leaders, National Assembly members, their take and their stand on this issue.
They're the senators we are talking about. Have they sat down? Have they sat down to say, okay, no, let's look into this? Like, they have not. House of Rep, they are on recess. I want to believe the senators
Yes,
are also. They will come back on 17th.
Of this
If
month.
they come back, they will start telling you how they spent their distance, how they went to their various constituencies and did what they did not do. Majority of them are even outside this country. They will fly back when they are to resume. The senators, you know them. We know our Senate president, the most funny comedian in Nigeria right now.
You're talking to the Senate president of this country.
I
sir.
wish he's in the studio, Ben. I would have told.
Last we checked,
I would have told him that face to face.
He's still the Senate president of Nigeria, not a comedian.
He is a very big comedian. I think at this point, Alibaba, AY, I would prefer them being on
take back
Senate.
seat.
Yes, I prefer them taking that position as Senate president. Then Akpabio going into comedy.
All right, to look at this development as Nigerians grown across the federation, talking about fuel price hike. People are crying this morning as we speak. We are being joined by the Executive Director, Data Dex for Social Development, Udo Chukwu. A very good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining Standpoint.
Good morning, Rapid FM. Good morning, Abia, and the good people. It's my pleasure to join you for this morning.
All right, thank you once again. Let us face what we want to discuss this morning. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged President Bola Tinubu to direct the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to quickly reverse what it described as the illegal and unconstitutional increase in the pump price of premium motor spirit across its retail outlets. As we speak, there are filling stations across the federation that sell their product at the rate of 1,200 or 1,300 naira. Directly or indirectly, virtually everybody in this country is being affected at the moment as we speak. You have the issue of price, discrimination, differences. Today you see this one, tomorrow you see that one. We have stakeholders, players in this industry. Today they come up with this decision, tomorrow they come up with the other decision. At the moment, Dangote made a test of, test run of his product. That was last week. But he said this product will be ready within 48 hours, given the government's position on this issue. We'll come down to Dangote's issue very shortly. But let's talk about the current development. What do you make of this issue at the moment in Nigeria?
It's really biting so hard on Nigerians. I think my heart goes out to many Nigerians who are struggling to cope this period. You made mention that schools will resume. And I want to plead regulatory authorities within the education sector to please maybe delay resumption of schools.
Would that not distort academic plans, activities, and programs? Let's say their calendar.
It's already distorted, considering that schools are going to increase school fees considering that transportation has more than doubled. Our parents who are, on these wages that are not even a livable wage, supposed to be able to fund their children going to school and coming back on daily basis. Car owners can't even, dream of driving these days. You see, the streets are empty across the country.
How did you get to know? I'm sorry, I didn't bring that up so that I will not give a bad impression this morning. Absolutely, as we speak this morning, the streets are empty.
We have been monitoring the impact since the new price regime. And I can tell you from our data, more than 40% of the cars are off the roads. This is for obvious reasons. Nobody want to be stranded at the middle of the road because there is no fuel in their tanks. It's no longer affordable. So nobody can deny the impact. It has immediate impact, not just on inflation, especially on food prices, but also on transportation. This is a deliberate demobilization of Nigerians and by extension, the economy. The economy has taken hits. I'm just waiting for the next data from Nigerian Bureau of Statistics on various aspects of our economy. So I'm pleading on different states to probably delay for 2-3 weeks resumption of schools so that the government will get quickly back to a price that can at least people can be able to afford. You don't expect people to buy fuel, a barber, somebody who runs a barber shop to buy fuel at 1,300. So a haircut now will cost say 2,000 naira. Then there will be a lot of people looking mad on the streets. Why we need to intervene in terms of delaying school resumption? I'm sorry, I'm a bit taking you away from the topic, but it's important because we're discussing the impact so far. It is to make sure that we don't resume schools and the classrooms are empty. The teachers will not be able to go to school because their salaries have not been increased to reflect the new cost of transportation. While these senators go home with a hazard allowance, which you wonder the kind of hazard that is, applicable to their job they do. They go home with all sorts of allowances. They can go to work, irrespective of the price of these petroleum products. So we expect the senators and the House of Rep members to go back to work and force the government to reverse. I'm an advocate of a free market when it comes to petroleum products. The subsidy has no business, being on petroleum products. I think we are subsidizing inefficiency. Where subsidies should be maybe in energy sector, and probably in agriculture and education and health, not on petroleum products. But we have seen that the cabal has also seized this opportunity to enrich themselves. The fact that NNPC or Nigeria has zero capacity to produce enough for local consumption and possibly for export is because people are deliberately, undermining that capacity. Now Dangote is on board. They are working overnight to make sure that things don't function as it is. And I also suspect a monkey, hand in this soup, because I think they are deliberately doing this so that when Dangote product comes on board, and maybe 1 liter will be 930, and I would say, hey, Dangote has crashed it. To move this in from 650 to 1,000 and something, that is more than twice, shows that it is a calculated attempt to make it look like Dangote product, when it comes on board and sells at 1,000 or 900 and something, he has crashed the price. So this is just, I don't think these things are happening out of, so it is well scripted, and it's happening exactly the way they want it. I expected Nigerians to hit the streets, like last week. I'm not saying that yet, but these people need to be put under pressure to reverse course. This is biting very, very hard.
All right, the NNPCL, different persons from different groups as well have called for prosecution and also the government to look inwardly to know exactly what is happening in this body within the petroleum industry. They've talked about fraud, corruption, deliberate actions because of interest in this sector. Up until now, the government has not taken any move. We've seen the National Assembly made certain moves, but yet we didn't see it come to fruition. What do you make of this development also? Are there persons who are stifling, the country in this manner or in this regard? Are there persons who are responsible that the government knows about this and yet they are not taking actions against this person? And also, look at it from any moment. Where would this take us to if we are at this point buying petrol at the rate of 1,200 naira or 1,300 naira?
Again, the expectation that politicians who are running this country will, in good conscience, fix the problem of the oil and gas sector, I think is living in denial. It's a make-believe when you hear NNPC come up to tell us that the Port Harcourt refinery will be ready by July. They have set 2 different targets this year, and they have all failed. It is not because it's not possible. It's because they're not doing anything, to bring about the changes we want. These things are deliberate attempt to keep the status quo, and the very people who are culpable
at the detriment of the people.
Yeah, and they are the ones in government. They are the ones who own refineries abroad. They are the ones Dangote, alleged have refineries off the shore of Malta. So, and if you check the countries Nigeria imports petroleum products from, these are mostly countries without the raw material, the crude. They have refineries there. They make sure that our local capacity is dead so they can bring in from their own refineries. And you see the astronomical increase of the volume of petroleum finished products from Malta in the last 1 year. That tells you that somebody well connected with this government has those refineries in Malta. That is why you see the sudden volume of importation from Malta in the last 12 months. These things are not, complex to understand. The people we expect to help us fix this are the people who have invested in the, dysfunctionality and inability of NNPC to do their work. So I don't see how they will wake up and become Angel Michael and repent of all their sins and begin to work for Nigerians. So the question that begs answer is, how do we get them do it? I think it is by occupying, government houses and NNPC itself. These people will not stop until they kill all of us. The corruption is deep. Every single year, NNPC spends billions and in maintaining companies that are not functional. They declare losses shamelessly. If you compare NNPC, I want people to understand that NNPC, like so many other global multinational state-owned oil companies like Saudi Arabia and Aramco rather. So many people know about Petrobras. These are global brands established around the 1970s when NNPC was established. Today they are global brands. Aramco, Saudi Arabia, state-owned oil company, is valued at $2 trillion, the biggest in terms of asset and valuation, the biggest oil company in the world. That's about 5 times the size of Nigerian economy or more. So this is the same, the company that was established the same, time with NNPC. Today, NNPC is reduced to importing petroleum product, and today they are dragging to be the sole retailer the sole dealer selling the Dangote products. It's quite shameful, and they will stop at nothing until they kill this sector. And to imagine that this is the very sector that Nigeria depends on for more than 90% of its foreign revenue. It begs for urgent attention, and Nigerians shouldn't take their eyes out of this. I don't think anything is happening by chance. It is scripted By the time Dangote fully resumes production, probably it's going to crash it to 1,000 naira, and it will sound like, hey, Dangote has reduced his products has crashed prices. I don't trust these guys a bit. It is well orchestrated so that it will be a soft landing when his products comes on board. I don't trust either NNPC or Dangote. Their business model is anti-people, and it doesn't support fair and healthy competition. So we are going to still see that monopoly that this APC government had brought to oil marketing. Since they came on board, NNPC has been the sole importer of petroleum products. Today, they want to be the sole sellers of Dangote products to continue to manipulate the market.
All right, let's begin also from this point. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company has come up with the explanations to say, okay, look at the issue of pricing of petroleum products from any refinery, including the Dangote Refinery Limited, is determined by global market forces. Dangote Refinery has the capacity to produce about 650,000 barrels per day when it comes to this product. And by calculation, Nigeria consumes, I don't think, in totality a day, if we consume up to that 650,000 naira, about 650,000 rather, about 400,000 or so. If we consume over 400,000, that's to say, if you minus that from 650,000 barrel per day from Dangote Refinery, Dangote will still have some to export to any other country. The issue of pricing, last week, Dangote came up to say that pricing of petroleum products from my own refinery could be determined by the government. You have seen the back and forth on this particular development. What is really playing out? Should Dangote have the grants to ensure that this product is available in the country, since our government has decided not to do anything concerning the Port Harcourt refinery and other refineries? I believe people would access this product, and also the price would not be a thing of, it would not be a big problem considering availability of this product. What do you make of all this drama? The National Assembly is involved, other critical stakeholders is involved. What exactly do you think is going on?
I think Dangote, when he was making reference to who has a sole, license to market his product, he said the instruction came from Federal Executive Council to NNPC to be the sole marketer of Dangote products. Probably they will claim is to checkmate Dangote's predatory business model. Since he's a sole producer, his products will be the only product in the market. By the time he comes on board, probably there will also be a legislation banning importation of petroleum products. Then that means Dangote's hands are tied, right? So they can't determine the price of the products. But on one hand, you talked about the volume we consume. They claim that we consume about 60 million liters every month. 60 million. So if you check it, that's about 2 million per day or so. And 1 barrel of crude has about, there are different products, from crude, but you can get up to 150 to 160 liters of PMS from 1 barrel. So if Dangote is doing 650,000, just multiply that by 160. That will give you the volume the local market offers Dangote in terms of consumption. So if it has the capacity to sell to other West African countries, that's yet to be seen. And again, we are talking about installed capacity of Dangote. When he starts, I don't think he will start on that full capacity. He may start doing 200,000 or 300,000 or 400. I don't know. But even if he has the capacity to supply the Nigerian market, it is a private company. If he chooses to, commit, say, 50% of his products to Nigeria and then look elsewhere where he will maximize profits. I don't think anybody can stop him. We are still at the mercy of these guys. I don't see how Dangote coming on board will, completely, take away all the problem. No. This guy built his company in a free trade zone, which means Nigerian regulations are not, he is not subject to the regulations within Nigeria because it's a free trade zone. There are some level of independence with which they operate around there. So his products will also be imported into the country, notwithstanding that his company is located within Nigerian territory. But by the virtue of the free trade zone, status of that environment, his products will still be imported into the country at international prices. So he's not going to be forced to sell at Nigeria dictates. No, the only thing he will be selling in Nigerian currency, reducing the pressure on naira. Probably that's the only benefit I see here. But in terms of pricing, Dangote is a businessman. He's going to determine if Nigeria, fixes prices that is not favorable to him. He can choose to take the entire product elsewhere.
All right, we are still looking at calls for reversal of recent fuel price hike and the intrigues around Dangote Refinery's PMS supply in Nigeria. We're going to a short break. When we return, would this be possible, Udochukwu? But we'll get to find out with other issues from you this morning. Stay with us.
Are you a goal-driven woman between the age of 18 to 35? Do you own a small and medium-scale business? Or are you looking to start a business to get your financial breakthrough? Then welcome to Transforming Nigerian Youth's program. Get equipped, create jobs and networks to start and grow your businesses and contribute to the Nigerian economy. This program is free. Get free data for learning, resources, and access to markets to grow your business and more. Visit reg.smetoolkit.ng/be transformed or call 0809-446-8117 to get started. Ladies, don't let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip through your fingers. This program is proudly brought to you by the Enterprise Development Center, the Pan Atlantic University, in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. Transforming Nigerian Youth's program. Be transformed, be empowered, and be the architect of your success.
Beauty is power. A smile is its sword. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is all around us. So, if you want to look good always, visit Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. It's new, it's exclusive, and a happening store in beauty products. We deal on perfumes and cosmetics such as body lotions, facial creams and scrubs, body sprays, powders, bath wash, and all kinds of quality cosmetics with affordable prices. Contact us at number 41 Fimbers Road, Umuahia, or number 28 School Road, Umuahia, all in Abia State. Call us on 0806 951 2773 or email us at wandsglean@gmail.com. Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. Quality is our name. Signed, Management.
Money, money, yeah, 1991, I just said it was quitting. We got to regret and rebrand. That is what I'm interested in. Let us come close and unite. Make we try love one another. This thing really got me mad. Make we forget our parties. Let's come together as one.
Security and a clean environment is everyone's business, not just the government. Let us come together irrespective of tribe, cultural, religious, political zone, political affiliation, and increase vigilance by partnering security agencies to keep Abia safe. Remember, the Operation Crush Security Outfit by Alex Oti administration is still in full force in all the nooks and crannies in Abia State. Not just that, Governor Alex Oti does not want Abians to engage in street trading any longer because it poses great risk for the traders and community at large and could lead to unsanitary condition on the street as well as waste accumulation. Stop street trading today and help Governor Alex Oti fix and secure Abia.
This message is brought to you by Abia State Orientation Agency.
Rapid FM 96.5. Go! The sound of your city.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this? And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing I'm leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is paramount.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
You're welcome back to Standpoint, the saint of all talks of politics on Rapid 96.5 FM. The issue, of course, as a result of the recent fuel price hike, everywhere is dry as we speak this morning. And also, the Dangote refineries ruled in the supply of premium motor spirit. We are talking about 650,000 capacity per barrel per day production. If you could invest or inject like over 400 into Nigeria with the help of what we've been having, I think Nigeria would go a long way. But the politics around this has been a great concern. We are still speaking with the Executive Director, Data Dex for Social Development, Udo Chukwuchukwu. Sir, you're welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
Mr. Udo Chukwu, good morning.
Good morning.
Incorruptible Sam here.
Yeah, good morning, Sam.
All right, and well, you have said a lot already. And I think I got scared at some point, in as much as well. It's something we know, but the way you explain it, it becomes, I became more scared. Anyway, going back to the thing you said earlier, in as much as well, a little bit from what we are discussing about school resumption. I think Ben also asked you a question, is it not going to affect something? We know it will. And you said it has already started. But the problem of not making sure our government-owned schools in Nigeria, functioning. I don't know if that's actually, an issue for you, because unfortunately, some of our leaders now benefited one way or the other from the government-owned schools, be it primary, secondary schools. But now, under their leadership, our schools keep dying. I don't know if you have, anything to say on that. Maybe. If we have government schools functioning now, the load wouldn't have been that big, especially on the school fees you mentioned earlier. What do you have to say on that?
Okay. While basic education is free on paper anyway, maybe just tuition fee just free, but other expenses are still there. The parents are also buying the books, buying the uniforms and all that. But when I talked about transportation fare, going to school, whether you are in private or public schools, you have to go to school now. Public school students don't live inside the school premises, so you have to go to school. Unless the schools are located within your environment where you can walk to school. That is where...
many government schools are like that. They are closer to the people.
Yes, but then what of teachers? Can teachers be able to fund their way to school and back? These teachers, remember their salaries. When they tell you their salaries, you will cry. Exactly. Will their salaries be able to take care of? Let's assume they dedicate all their monthly home take to going to school and coming back. Will it be enough? So what happens when students get to school and there are no teachers because they can't afford the unattainable transport cost? So these things are neither here nor there. And that is why I think because we run oil-based economy, that is why whatever affects the pump price affects virtually other aspects of our economy. If our energy sector has some level of independence of the crude, if, for instance, we have developed the gas sector that powers the energy sector, so the pump price will not affect availability of electricity, for instance. So people will not some electric powered vehicles will become much more attractive. But there is no electricity. So whatever happens to PMS directly impacts every other thing, because that's their primary source of energy in this country too. So it's very difficult to ignore the impact on the educational sector. We can't assume or wish it away. If school resumes tomorrow and there are no teachers in schools, there are no cleaners in schools, there are no security in schools, what will children do? They have gone to school and what? There will be no learning. So that's why I think unless they will provide subsidy for teachers, that's the only way they can make it to school. So if you are in public school and you live within your school location, you can take the children to school. And at the end of the day, you go back and pick them. But considering that a parent may have up to 3 kids and he will be spending up to 1,000 naira per child, that's 3,000 naira every day. And his salary or her salary is about 200,000. How many people receive that much? Even if it is 200,000 in 1 month, you're spending over 90,000 naira just to send the children to school. That's not their school fees. That's not their, feeding. That's not their health and all that basic needs. It's crazy. People can't possibly survive this thing unless there is, an effort to reduce this thing below 500 naira. It can't, anything above 500 naira, Nigerians can't survive.
All right. You talked about also the people now being in charge. And in summary, that would be us hitting the streets again, protests, or another means of complaining. And, Nigeria, anytime we talk about the protests, the politicians feel very uncomfortable and they try as much as possible to make it look as if it's a war between us and them. 2020, we know what happened in SARS. End bad governance that just happened a few months ago. We also know the results. I heard that some people are still being held. They are facing trial and all the rest as people that we are accused of making things difficult for the politicians and not for the people now. There will always be hoodlums. These hoodlums, you don't know where they spring off from. How can people protest again this time based on what is happening without the politicians producing hoodlums again?
I think if you are looking for hoodlums, the direction you can look towards is Aso Rock and NNPC.
Are you saying that we have hoodlums in Aso Rock and the NNPCL?
Yeah, these are the biggest hoodlums we are all worried about. Those hoodlums, their decisions, their choices every day impacts your life. So there may be a hoodlum on the street of Umuahia if there is a protest tomorrow who will want to hijack it. It will only impact the street where they are operating. But the hoodlums at NNPC and Aso Rock, their own activities affects you, and that's what is killing Nigeria. So the biggest hoodlums we should be all afraid of now are these ones. And when we say Nigeria shouldn't demand for good governance because we are afraid that some hoodlums will hijack it. So has government stopped in Nigeria because the hoodlums are looting the country? Governance has not stopped. We have not called for end of government in Nigeria because government have been ineffective and have been, to a large extent, criminals. So I don't see why the fear of hoodlums hijacking a protest will be enough reason not to, demand for good governance. And when we say protest, it's always peaceful.
Yeah.
So it is always the responsibility of the police to make sure that anybody who is acting outside the law is dealt with. They are charging peaceful protesters with treason. Do you know what the penalty for treason in Nigeria is? Death.
Yeah.
So this Tinubu regime is calling for the death of Nigerian youths whose only crime is to ask for good governance, to end bad governance, to end hunger in Nigeria. And if anyone is worried, it should be the conduct and the mindset of those who occupy positions of authority. This should make us more defiant. And Nigerians should go to bed because about 10 youths are currently being charged with treason. This is the time to even start the protest. If they should arrest all of us, let them arrest all of us. To protest for 2 weeks and then go home and watch some of us persecuted the way they are doing now, it doesn't speak well of us. We need to be intentional, we need to be determined, and we need to know the price we must pay for Nigeria to function. Currently, we are paying lip service to it. The people who are holding us down are determined. we must be twice more determined than they are. We
All right.
must make them to fear us, not the other way around.
All right. At the moment, we are looking at the potential economic impact and implications for consumers, businesses in Nigeria. This morning, we are complaining at the beginning part of this program. Well, let's, at this point, get the thoughts of our listener. We'll bring back your opinion on this issue. You have mentioned reducing the price below 500 naira. What is the possibility? But let's talk to our listener at this point. We are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at Rapid 96.5 FM. 091600965 or 0916333 Standpoint, good morning and welcome to the program. Your name and location, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Pastor Stanley Carlo, and I'm representing from Isugu, Africa.
Carlo, welcome. Please be audible.
Yeah, what I want to say as regards to the discussion of the table this morning, we still have on the issue of this fuel price hike. You see, it's unfortunate that our present government is treating we, the masses, this way, without any human sympathy. And the way that, this is humanity to man. How can you tell me that my president, President Tinubu, is in faraway China, and in faraway China, all these things are happening in his country, and he realized that even from China, I heard that he has gone to UK or any other country, just galvanizing all over the whole world. Why his country is burning?
Don't you think that these international trips are just for the development and progress of Nigeria?
Since they have started to travel, both the governors, the former president, and this incumbent president, Tinubu, what are the developmental projects or sites that we have seen from the even in Nigeria? You and I know that the foreign companies are leaving Nigeria. In this harsh economy, which foreign company will come? Which foreign investment will come across? Unless if he is going to do that to seek for loan, with the meaning he has gone to China to seek for loan.
All right, Carlo.
We pray that our nation will not be supported by China one day. Please. As the last commentator said here, I wish that all Nigeria will come out for a massive protest. Let them arrest all of us, both the clergy, both the non-clergy, both the prophet and the rest of them.
All right.
And look at it now. All the prophets, the clergy, all of them.
All right. You have used your time, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate your contribution. 091600965 or 0916333 A very good morning to you. Welcome to Standpoint. Okay, we lost that call. We are still taking your call. 091600965. Good morning and welcome. Welcome, sir.
Akara, good morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I won't be surprised in this your country if they sell petrol 2,000 naira per liter.
Are you not a Nigerian?
I'm a Biafran. I'm just living in Nigeria.
All
I'm
right.
a Biafran living in Nigeria. Set the record clear.
All right.
Now, do you know why I said what I said? This Dangote that you're handing over your petrol to today, how much is Dangote cement sold in Nigeria? And how much is Dangote cement sold in Niger Republic? How much is Dangote flour sold in Nigeria? And how much is Dangote flour sold in Chad? How much is Dangote sugar sold in Nigeria? And be answering you before I get angry. How much is Dangote sugar sold in Nigeria? And how much is Dangote sugar sold in Benin Republic? Today, you are handing over your petrol to the same Dangote. The problem I have with Nigeria is that I don't know whether Nigeria, I don't want to use the wrong word, but the leaders of Nigeria, they have short memory. You cannot reason well. You cannot ask yourself, this thing that I have been doing, they say that it's only a madman that will do the same thing at the same time and be expecting a different result. You handed over the whole thing to someone and you are getting a hike of prices in your own country, outside your neighboring country. And one day they will hand over the power, Nigerian power, to Dangote. Dangote is the sole proprietor of Nigeria.
All right,
Takada. Handed over certificate of Nigeria to Dangote. Dangote is the grandfather of Nigeria. Dangote is the owner of Nigeria. CEO. Dangote, you are the owner of Nigeria.
All right, Akada, thank you. All right. We appreciate your contribution and you're responsible for your comments. 091600965 0916333 Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Moses Ben.
Welcome,
Good morning,
sir.
our guest.
Good morning.
My name is Mr. Bob and I'm calling you from Mumbai. I've listened keenly
on the to the guest, and he made so many salient points. I am not wishing what happened to Ghana to happen in Nigeria, but I would have wished that it will happen to Nigeria so that every sector will be sanitized. My brother, just think about it. Education, like they say, Boko Haram, the meaning of Boko Haram is that Western education is forbidden. That's the meaning of Boko Haram. Then Western education has been forbidden in Nigeria because it is only the rich or the so-called elite class that can train their children or their relatives to a very good school. Then coming to the real necessary things that affect both those who have cars and those who don't, the fuel. They are now playing this kind of politics. What are they thinking? What if anybody like the guest said that if we rise up, let them arrest all of us? What are they thinking? Oh my brother, the whole thing. I'm not even blaming Dangote because Dangote painted a very bad picture to their faces, and for them to give license to somebody that use his personal money to build a refinery in a country that have four refineries, and they are still making expenses based on whatever they are doing in that refinery. And my brother, let me just ask this question: if in other world would Mele Kyari with it here?
All right, your time is up, sir.
From the time of Buhari till now, Mele Kyari is here. And fake promises and negative promises has been given to Nigeria. Will he supposed to be there?
All right.
If I'm a good aspect of
Thank you. You have used your time, sir. All right. That's a very big question. Just keep listening. Let's know if you have an answer to that question. 09160,965. You're welcome to the program. Good morning.
Suzanne, good morning.
Your name and location, sir. Welcome.
This is Ike, a.k.a. Independent.
Ike, you're welcome. Ike, please be audible.
Your voice is very down.
Yeah, your guests have said it all. The problem we have is those food lumps in the NNPC. Every day they come up with one promises that they can't fulfill. So the best we can do now is for us. I think the country is heading to a place where we'll have a complete revolution. We have to revolt so that the leaders will hear our cry. If they should arrest all of us, let them arrest us, because school is about starting. Students will go back to school. How are you going to transport your words from here, from Abaro to another place in Abaro now? It's almost 400 naira. And the thing is getting out of hand. In fact, the problem is that do we at all have any leader in this country? Our president is far away in France. From there now you head to Burkina Faso. From Burkina Faso you head to, very soon now you travel to space. Coming home with empty hand. Nothing to, no solution.
All right.
God forbid. Oh God.
Thank you, Ike. We appreciate your contribution. 09160,965 or 09160-333-965. A very good morning to you and welcome to Standpoint. Good morning and welcome.
And the terrorists, as you say, in the Kaaba, which is a said it, and nobody has disputed the fact. Okay, now, even you, Ben Moses, and God bless you this morning.
Welcome.
For real, they call for me one.
All right.
We have a solution. Yes. God forbid, but we have a solution. I think even the Holy Book of Moses, the Holy Bible, said it clearly. Now, if you are not violently enough, you can't take it by force. Because everything now is force. Everything is threatened. Everything is a frustration. Everything stands now. Everywhere is stumbling. And everybody is not matching teeth. So the only solution now, you and I now left with, if truly tribalism will not even disengage us or separate us. And my brother, we have to come together. This is not issue of protest. We must have to say this is time for us to bring down the government. Yes, we are not here. We are not here maybe to You know, we are no longer biased again. Why should we be biased? Why should we even have that fear to say something we're supposed to say? When you and I don't have even, as we are saying now, school now is opening. Then what do you think that it will be easy for the parents to continue, you know, carrying their children to school? So finally, I'm going to tell you that what you don't have, you can't give it.
All right.
It can't be easy for you to be comfortable to harvest what you do not cultivate. That's the problem we have. So
Thank you.
The president is the problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. On our Facebook page, Mr. Speaker, the guest, we are in big problem or trouble. It's now Dangote versus NNPCL. God, please come to our rescue. Okay, let's just take that one before we get back to our guest. Good morning and welcome to the program. Your name and location. Hello, good morning.
Sam.
Welcome.
Okay. Please, my take this morning is about this NNPC and Dangote refinery. We are watching them, and then the water is reaching our neck. I don't know why the people of this country are keeping quiet, and the water is trying to pass our mouth to our eyes. Let us go organize ourselves and then push this government out from the Aso Rock, and then we'll do something better, because they are not looking for our betterment.
All right.
So why should we listen to them even? My name is Chief Kevin Wilson from Hituboma local government area of Imo State.
Chief Kelvin, thank you so much for contributing. Udochukwu, just in 15 seconds before we round off the program, you talked about reducing the price below 500 naira. What are the possibilities and then going forward, sir?
I think they promised that Port Harcourt Refinery will start production by July. They said then, another time, they said August. This is September. If NNPC continue to lie to us about when, or even the state of that refinery, then I don't see how we can trust them. The problem with what NNPC is doing with their opacity in terms of this particular subsidy regime is we don't know how much they claim to be spending on subsidy. They claim they have removed subsidy. But you and I know that the subsidy is still there. So all they need to do is to let the money they are spending already work. If they are spending over 4 trillion naira, within 6 months, it means they are taking it somewhere. They are not using it to subsidize these products. So all they need to do for now is to use it to subsidize. And I really want people not to, invest their anger on Dangote. Dangote is a private investor. We didn't elect him. This is the time to call our representatives. We have almost ineffective, and I don't want to use some derogatory words on air, but our representatives are so ineffective. Unfortunately, when they come back to our community, we give them chieftaincy title, we recognize them in churches. We come online and lament. Meanwhile, we haven't been able to hold those ones accountable. It's time to act.
Thank you so much. Executive Director, Data Dex for Social Development, Udochukwu. Thank you for your time on today's program.
Always my pleasure.
All right, incorruptible, sir. This is how far we can come on today's edition.
Thank you.
Let's do this again tomorrow. My name is Moses Ben. Good morning.
The following information